Hi, Vala.
Yeah, morning, Raj. We are back to discuss cricket, right?
Yes. I mean, cricket and we go together. I mean, we can't help. So I think this week this edition is exclusively for the
What happened
latest
at the AGM at
AGM of BCCI. So before that, should the AGM have been held? I mean, my question is that what is the legal position,
I mean,
or is it
you're
late?
talking,
Is it
you
or
never know because it's very confusing, man. See, the legal position, what is the status of the BCCA and the various committees within it, and the top committees, not just the lower committees. I really don't have a clue about it. I mean, see, I follow cricket daily and I follow it, I cover it for a living. In spite of that, it's very, I mean, almost impossible to keep track of what is happening within the BCCA and what is really legal and what is illegal. It's, I mean, so confusing, man. And that has been the case. This state of limbo has been the case for the last 5 or 6 years, man. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
after the Supreme Court got in and did whatever it did, it has been even more
Exactly.
messier, right? So you have
It's
situations where I mean, the one person against whom the court, or rather all the petitioners ganged up, he's back in BCCI today.
yes,
Yeah.
see, it's strange.
So
I mean,
and then and then you
the BC, I mean, the BCCA that was run by its old gods was bad. This one being run by the CC, I mean, the Supreme Court's gaze, it is worse.
yeah. So nobody knows now.
Nobody knows.
And Supreme Court, I think, has forgotten. I mean, obviously, I mean, the Chief Justice, poor chap, he almost lost his trousers here recently.
He was caught
So
with his pants down.
no, he was not caught. He caught his pants from going down. I'll put it that way. Luckily, poor guy forgot his belt. I mean, no offense meant, sir. It happens to all of us. This happens to all of us.
But
And you
both
were, I think he was,
both
yeah,
Supreme Court and the BCCA needs some kind of a bill title.
yeah, I know. I think there's some belt is required now.
Yeah.
So, which brings me to this. There are a few decisions which sort of hit the papers, and I was scratching my head to figure out what it means. The first one was 10 teams in IPL. What do you make of that?
See, I would.
More bits and banter other than that.
Yeah, in the sense, I mean, they are given a provision for 10-team IPL. There
Yeah.
is a slight whether there is going to be a 10-team IPL for, because this is not going to happen in 2020, but this is going to happen in 2022 because
Hmm.
2021 would be 8-team IPL.
Hmm.
Whether that is going to be a 9-team or a 10-team is something that remains to be seen because they have not taken a decision, but they are given up go ahead in principle go ahead for a 10-team IPL. But whether the IPL will have 9 teams or 10 teams is something that needs to be seen. But I'm in favor of 9 team rather than the 10 team. 10 team would make it slightly unwieldy, whereas 9 team in terms of number of matches would be ideal.
Okay.
So I worked at the mathematics when I was when we did a similar show sometime immediately in the aftermath of the IPL. I think the
Hmm.
number of matches is slightly much more manageable with the 9-team IPL rather than with the 10-team, which is totally unwieldy. And in a country like India, where you'll have multiple locations, that will be all over the place. But we have had 10-team IPLs before.
Yeah. We have had. See, my point is that see,
Too
whom
much
does
of
it
the too
benefit?
much of a good
Yeah. See,
good thing.
whom it, no, there are two, three things which we need to specifically get into. Whom does it benefit? Does it benefit the TV watchers? Not
It,
to the extent there will
not
be
TV watchers. It might benefit the TV
producers.
channel.
Yes, that's what I was coming to. See, for TV watchers, I think, like you said, it will be overkill.
Overkill,
You
exactly.
will not be see. It's like, see. I mean, we might not think of having bits and banter for every match.
It's impossible,
It
man.
will be
Yeah,
impossible. We'll go bonkers. So that is one. But TV companies would love it. Advertisers would probably not love it. It will be an iffy thing because if nobody is watching, why am I advertising? Why am I spending money? That is the thing. Will players love it? I think so because more players will get into the mix. So the
yeah,
guys who are actually sitting and playing Ranji
exactly.
Trophy
Fair
and
point. Fair point.
they will get into the mix. So you at least have another 50 players if you have two teams.
In the
Roughly,
mix.
yeah, roughly 50 more players in the mix. That is a given, which is good for those 50 players, which might
Yeah,
include how many. Maybe out of the 50, there might be about 10 or 15 foreign players. The rest of it would be Indian players.
but it will add to much more selectoral conundrums, man.
That is different. We'll come to that later. I was saving it up for the selection panel
Oh, that's a
comedy.
but when you have too many players,
I
I
know,
mean,
I know.
who do you pick?
Yeah, unless you are Mumbai Indians, you say I don't care who is there. I'm going to pick these fellows only.
I mean, Mumbai Indians already has a second team which is good enough for an
Yeah,
IPL
I
team.
know. Yeah, I know.
I mean, which might be the case when
Yeah,
one of the new teams come up.
yeah. So yeah, so that is that for me. That is the crazy element. I mean, there are three things which makes it a bit. I mean, you are not able to decide whether it's a good idea or a bad idea
But
immediately.
you nailed it, Raj, when you said overkill. That is the word.
Yeah.
For me, when you have a 10-team IPL, it is an overkill. We need not discuss beyond that because it says that.
Yes. And then, which brings us to the next part of what BCCI did, which was sort of
Okay.
changing the selection panel. So good that we knew there was one. So somewhere we had forgotten that there was a selection panel somewhere, and I was pleasantly surprised to see Sunil Joshi was there. I forgot that Sunil Joshi was there. So,
but I mean, to be fair, this selection panel, I mean, till now they done a decent job. Some of the victories that we have had in the last 2 years, I mean, you have to give it to the selectors.
yeah.
To be fair to them.
Yeah. So see, they do a thankless job. I mean, see,
we make all our silly jokes on them.
Yeah, my only problem is that, like we have discussed this in earlier shows also, that I mean, selection panels. See, that lack of accountability is what is worrying. See, if you look at the entire BCCI, there's been a lot going on about how Ganguly is running the show.
That is the elephant in the room. Lack of accountability in BCCI. They have been cousins. They have been going together for years and years. Yeah. I mean, you're right. No questions there. But let's talk about the three selectors who have gotten into the scheme of things.
I think Ajit Agarkar missed out because he was busy commentating. So poor chap here. So he was supposed to be there.
Yeah, right? We have Chetan Sharma, Abhay Kuruvilla, and Debashish Mohanty.
So I found it interesting because and then Sunil Joshi, right?
Sunil Joshi and Harvinder Singh, they are part of the existing.
Interesting part, I think this is the first time. This is the first time I remember all five are bowlers.
Exactly. I mean, somebody was saying this makes a very good attack. They can
although poor Chetan Sharma would still, when he say attack, Chetan Sharma might remember Javed Miandad, which is only
it's one of those that is a cross that he has to bear.
Yeah, but not to forget that he actually took India's first hat trick in a World Cup.
World Cup against New Zealand.
He has had his moments. I mean, he was a pretty decent bowler and good pace.
Yes.
So yeah. So, and Abhay Kuruvilla also was a guy with good pace and bounce.
Yeah.
You remember.
One of the few cricketers from Kerala to have made it to the top in those years.
Yeah, but then he was playing for Mumbai.
Yeah, from Kerala. That's why I said players from Kerala. He's not a Kerala player.
And the best was because I was in Delhi those days when he was selected. Everybody used to call him Abhay Kuruvilla.
Abhay Kuruvilla. Yeah, obviously.
Abhay Kuruvilla.
Yeah, Abhay Kuruvilla. That's an easy one.
Yeah.
The low hanging fruit.
I think these. I won't question the credentials of any of these guys. I think they have been pretty good cricketers. I mean, you have had guys like Devang Gandhi and see, even if you look at the Indian cricket team, you have Vikram Rathore as the batting coach.
But some of these people have done good work. I hear a lot of good things about Vikram Rathore.
Okay, interesting. But because I don't think he ever listened to himself then as a player.
Both Devang Gandhi or Vikram Rathore as openers, they were better lot of jokes when they played, especially in Australia. So we kind of tend to look at them through that prism. But as administrator, as a person's part of the support staff within the dressing room, they are generally doing a good job. At least that is what I hear. Of course, obviously, I don't have a first-hand experience, but the things that I hear from people who are close to the things, and especially Vikram Rathore, it's pretty good.
I won't know. Vikram Rathore can never he actually has a fantastic record with himself, no? So that the story of 36 in Indian cricket is important, right? There was 136 made by one guy in 60 overs. Yes, another 36 made by one guy in 1 over.
1 over.
And we had another 36 made by 10 guys in entire innings.
Entire innings.
So I don't know. We'll leave it there. Who are we to comment? The results need to speak. See, Indian bowling has been excellent or has been regularly doing well for itself. I don't think the Indian batting can say the same thing in recent times, in the last maybe 2 years and a half, 2 years. So if Vikram Rathore is doing work, I think it's not really paying off with the batsman. Unless, he can only do that. He can't go and bat, which is good, because if he bats, he would be in the same boat, I guess. That is wicked, but then couldn't resist it. Yeah, so that is the second thing, and the third is what what do you think about this Olympic game, T20 becoming an Olympic sport?
I mean, it better, because this is not the first time that cricket will be part of Olympics. It was part of the Olympics in 1900 itself, where of all teams, France won.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, there were only two teams or perhaps four teams. Where the other teams were picked from within Britain itself. It's a strange kind of thing that goes back to when Olympics were not fully formed around 1900 and 1904. But this is a different story. We have had the cricket in Commonwealth Games.
Yeah.
You might remember Australia,
Yeah.
India, and other teams. So T20 being part of Olympics, I actually look forward to it. It's pretty interesting. I don't know in terms of number of days whether they what they can pack in, but it would be certainly interesting, because one thing, Olympics always has a higher.
I have a question for you, Bala, here.
Yeah.
Will India see a Kolpak type scenario if T20 starts being played worldwide?
You're running your imagination. I mean, you're making your imagination run riot, Raj.
No, I mean, see, today, look at it this way. Today, if all I need to do is retire from all forms of cricket and show the middle finger to BCCI and walk away, right?
Yeah, I mean, those things don't really happen in India because BCCI has a long arm, and I mean, it puts pressure over the table and under the table. So those things don't.
No,
really,
that is the point. See, BCCI's pressure already has receded in the ICC. If you notice,
it is receding. It is receding.
And if more members come in,
as long as India remains the financial center of world cricket, BCCI will somehow.
Anyway, look at it this way: more members are there, right? More members means less power. You need to share power. So if China comes and says, I mean, who are the guys playing IPL who are not playing Indian Test cricket? Those fellows are there. Aajao bhai. So I don't know. I mean, I'm happy.
Slightly far-fetched. That's as of now sounds far-fetched.
Yes.
But I mean, you never rule out anything in life.
So for me,
I don't think that happening. But I'm actually looking forward to cricket as a Olympic sport.
So I somehow feel that I mean 3 hours of cricket, maybe T10, I don't know, T20, 3 hours of cricket if you have 25 teams. I don't know.
I have a problem. I mean, I don't know how they will structure it.
Yes.
Because it will be straight knockoff.
Yeah.
It can't be a league kind of a thing.
There'll be no league. I mean, it has to be a knockout. Every match has to be a knockout. I mean, it can't even be like the World Cup soccer, World Cup football finals.
Football.
Yeah. Yes. It can't even be like that. Because there also
you have Olympic soccer, no? Olympic soccer is there.
Yeah. So the problem there is that football is 90 minutes. This is like how much?
But there are enough teams, no? I'm talking about in terms of teams, number of teams.
Yeah. So football has 24 teams, no?
Yeah.
In the World Cup, yeah.
Yeah, the World Cup. So you can pull off. See, from 90 minutes to 3 hours, it's not a big deal, man.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know how they will, because see the pitches and all of those things. See, football you can just play anywhere. Anywhere. So there are issues there. I really don't know. I mean, logistical issues would be there. I don't know. But then, I mean, so for me, it is good because if Olympics.
And some of the countries may not have those cricket infrastructure.
Yeah. No, which is where Indians will be in demand. That is, Indians and Pakistanis and Sri Lankans would be in demand is my game. That is
because in 1956, the equestrian events and the 1956 Melbourne Olympics, the equestrian events were held in Europe because they had some problem with the sea. So for cricket itself, you can have it. I mean, wherever the the Olympics might be happening, you can have it in some cricket playing nation.
Yeah, correct.
You never know.
So I mean, these are situations which we will encounter as we go along, I think. But then
I look forward to the prospect.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
the prospect is interesting.
Yeah, at the end of the day, what I feel is,
Raj, you are looking at the scores, I think.
Yeah, nothing much to report. It's 127 for 4.
4. Okay.
Yeah. Bumrah has taken another one. So, but then so there's nothing much from my side. There's nothing much one way or the other. I feel that cricketers would benefit. Is the way I see it. I think
just like as you said for the IPL number of IPL.
Yes, that is where I'll leave it. I think that is pretty much it. I have a bigger problem in the way the BCCI story is sort of unraveling now, because you have the secretary seems to have a mind of his own, and the president seems to have no mind, and he probably doesn't mind. He is busy with his what is that?
This fantasy game
apps and things like that. Somewhere beneath, somewhere deep down, I feel he is. I mean, for him, the presidentship of BCCI is not a journey towards leadership of ICC, but chief ministership of Bengal. I think that is where he is ready.
Oh,
That is
that's
the feeling.
interesting.
Yeah, that
So,
is the feeling I'm getting. And I mean, let the future prove me right or wrong. We'll wait, and I
oh,
don't
that's
care,
interesting.
right?
Raj, you should. I mean, we are fans, man. We should care
Care for what?
for Indian cricket.
No, we do. See, the best part here is that there was all through these years there was talk. I mean, all us, you, me, all of us, cricket writers, cricket fans, all of us were talking about how a former cricketer should be at the helm. I don't think it has helped. I think professional managers should be
Sad
at
truth.
professional managers should be at help. People who are, I mean, who work with plans, who work with very clear outcomes, which is what Cricket Australia has done, which is what ATB has done. They have
Sorry.
administrative officers,
Sorry.
they have CEOs, guys who are running the game as a business, as an enterprise. I think that is what cricket needs. I don't see India going anywhere close. I don't see any subcontinental cricket administration going that way, because all of these are meant for political shenanigans at the end of the day. You saw what happened with Bedi and DDC.
But
Right?
Raj, good thing you brought that point. I mean, brought Bedi up. Hats off to that man, because that is a thing that no former cricketer would speak, but it took the courage of Bedi to speak, because it's a. I mean, you talked about professionalism and accountability in BC in running the affairs of BCCA, and as long as you have politicians in the scheme of things, that is never going to happen. And somebody like Bedi, who doesn't have to prove his credentials because he has nothing to lose, but somebody who have who used to be a voice of reason, and who, I mean, he can be slightly intemperate on occasions, but generally he knows his cricket.
So I'll put it this way, Bala. Yeah, you're
So
right.
him talking about the stuff that he talked about is very important, and hats off to that man. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, see, reason is intemperate. I'll just put it that way. See, when you are talking reason, it appears intemperate because you don't see the reason in it. See, I mean, I remember I was having arguments when Bedi called Murali something else, something.
Yes, that's why I said.
So that is the intemperate. No, that is again his reason, his view. He says if a person cannot, cannot but bend his arm, he shouldn't be bowling. That's all he's saying. Now, how he says,
called him as a javelin thrower.
Yeah. He should go and throw javelins. Roger Binney was a javelin thrower before he became a bowler.
That's a different story.
That's a different story. But he was not bending his arm. So his point was simple. If you cannot bend your arm, it's not about, it's like saying that, okay, I can't but bend my arm, so you change the rules.
That is a view. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm saying that is a view. That is so he said. What he said was, I don't think it's worth repeating, so I'll keep away from it. I remember the quote very well, and I responded to it also, because see, it's like saying, no, a helmet doesn't fit my head, so change the rule. Change the helmet, Baba. You don't change the rule because that helmet doesn't fit your head, right? So what is a helmet for? It is to save yourself. So the Sikh, for example, they don't wear a helmet. They wear, in Delhi, you go, the Sikhs do wear the turban and drive. Now, it's not their problem that nobody has made a helmet of that size. If somebody does, then you can enforce the law. My point is, everything, you can't sort of bend the rules for everything.
Bend the rule?
Yeah.
Is that a pun about the subject that we are talking about? Because you talked about Murali bending his arm.
Yeah, bend it like Murali. Yeah. So that is the point. I think at the end of the day, BCCI or cricket administrations in this side of the world, South Africa, you see the mess that is happening. Unless there is professional sport management, there are degrees available now. There are
South
professional
African
MBA
cricket
degrees.
is in shambles, man.
Exactly. So my point is that unless there is genuine professional management, it's not. I'm not even talking like people like you and me who are, just because we are fans of cricket, we'll do a good job. We won't. There needs to be professional management. Which is why businesses do well, right? Businesses have clear-cut plans, ideas, perspectives. They put all of those in action. You see one example in Indian cricket, which is where it has gone well, is the way Rahul Dravid took over the under-19s and showed the results for you.
Yes.
Right. That is one example, because it is single-minded. There is nothing ulterior, untoward in it at all. So I think that is where,
talking of Rahul Dravid and NCA, we are going to have 4 more NCAs, by the way, which is again was discussed at the BCCI AGM.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, which basically spreads the thing. But I am slightly worried because that actually
Because that
opens
was
up.
putting too much, too much effort on one single entity, NCA Bangalore. So they want to spread
My
it.
problem is, yeah, you spread it, but I think you still need to have a central authority. See, these are areas where without central authority, things don't work. I
Let's see
feel
how
that
it pans out.
I see it is like NIS Patiala.
Yeah.
You might have NIS other places, but NIS Patiala is NIS Patiala. That's it. I mean, that is where you need to go eventually. So I think that sort of a thing needs to be there, because otherwise,
I think we are running out of time.
yeah. So otherwise, what I was going to say is, it'll sort of just spread. In Hindi, they say na raita phailana. That is the way it will be.
Trust
So
you
I
to
think
come up with some Hindi line.
I am Hindi man. I can't tell. Chalo, nice. Thanks talking to you, and we'll come back again with a roundup of cricket
Yes.
of today's match, and see you soon. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.